Andrew, I suppose the big news around is the meeting before the Essendon game, which I know you mentioned after the Essendon game. But I suppose, what did you get out of that meeting as a coach, and what do you think has improved since that meeting?
Yeah, look, it's a really good question. I probably want to speak to our members on this topic because it's been blown up the last couple of days, and you're right. I mentioned it 2 or 3 weeks ago, so we haven't kept this as a secret. And I think any organisation that's underperforming, that doesn't get their most influential people in a room to try and figure it out, is being negligent. So that's all we did. We had a real purpose to get our most senior players, our senior figures of our football department together to find a solution of the way out of where we're at. We're not happy with where we are. It was a super productive meeting. Everything was on the table, and there has been some growth in us and our game, our environment, and we're going to continue to do it. We'll have meetings like that again with the sole purpose of getting better. We're aligned with our senior players. That's what came out of the meeting. We provided a great forum to put everything out there about what we're trying to do as a club, and every person that walked out of there had intention to make us better. So that was the purpose of it, and I hope that that's really clear that we're trying to get out of where we're at.
I believe you made changes as well, Minnie. You made changes already, haven't you? That because the bat was before Essendon, did well against Essendon, and you've implemented changes, so it's moved on even from that meeting.
Yeah, for sure. And there's things that have changed internally and externally from the field and on the field as well. So they're the things we're trying to make changes all the time to make us better. It's not the end of it. We'll continue to do that, and we don't shy away from it. We want to improve as quickly as we can.
Who called that meeting?
We did as a football department. We called it. We wanted our players to get together. We thought they're the most influential people in our team. It's not fair to expect the young players to move the needle. Like the senior group is the core of any football team and club. So we tried to get as many as we could in the same room and work together to improve.
So as a football department, you feel supported by the footy department, yeah?
Absolutely, 100%. What
was your reaction when you heard it was called an intervention?
Oh, look, I just knew it was factually wrong. That was my reaction. So, we've spoken about it. I've made it really clear what the purpose of it was today, and we're on a path to getting better.
Andrew, I suppose, though, from a personal standpoint, you knew when you walked into the club that what you were facing. Is this rebuild harder than what you thought it might be when you first signed up for the gig?
Look, AFL footy is incredibly hard. We're in a position where we're not where we want to be. We want to win games of AFL football. We want to be competing in finals. But it was always going to be difficult, and it will be difficult still going forward. But that's the beauty of it. I love that challenge. We spoke about it as a group. This is where you want to gel together as a unit, as a team, as a department, and as a football club to dig our way out of here.
Andrew, Oscar's spoken this morning about the mental challenge of his last few weeks. Can you tell us what you've seen of what he's gone through and how you've tried to support him? Yeah, so I think Oscar spoke publicly on behalf of himself this morning. And really what we've done the last couple of weeks is try and support Oscar as much as we can. When he missed a game of football, he wanted us to not speak about it, and we granted his wishes because that's his mental health that we were talking about. So we just did everything we did to support Oscar. He had a small breakaway, which is what he needed. I think we forget, these people are human. These people, we choose to live our lives publicly because that is the nature of our business, but we all have emotions. We're human. So Oscar had a little break. We supported him in it. He came back to the football club. He's in great spirits at the moment, and we will continue to support him.
One of the club greats has said he should be dropped. Has that ever crossed your mind about dropping Oscar back to Waffle?
Look, I don't agree with it at all. Oscar's a really good player. He's a high-level AFL player. We know he can play both ends of the ground. We know he's not in the best form of his career right now, but Oscar is working as hard as anyone to get himself going in the football field, and we are going to continue to support him.
You with him back this week, you think? Or?
Yeah, most likely. Most likely we will, but we'll train today. He's really keen on playing back. He's really keen on helping our team any way he can.
It's moved to defence. Does that free him up mentally a bit as well, just taking off the pressure in terms of goals and things like that? Yeah,
look, maybe. I'm not. You'd have to probably ask him that, but I know key forward's an incredibly hard position to play. You're reliant on the game coming to you a little bit. So if that is a byproduct of moving him back, that's great.
Is it about, I guess, the best thing for him, or are you making that move because it's the best thing for the team?
100% because it's the best thing for the team. Yep.
Does that mean you need another foot back? You need to keep it. Would you in the mid-season draft maybe look at getting someone?
I think we will look to get the best player in the mid-season draft. That's the history of the mid-season draft is you get the best player. Like we've been fortunate to get Jack Hutchinson in the mid-year draft, and he was just the best player in that draft. So I think that we're going to continue to work with our stocks in that space that we've got, and we'll continue to build as well.
Does Tim Kelly come straight back into the side after the toe injury?
Yeah, he'll train today. Yeah, the answer is yes. We'll get Tim back into our side. We think he's incredibly valuable for our team. He went away to the waffle a couple of weeks ago, as you guys know, and worked on what we needed him to, and we think he helps us a lot.
With Elliot, has he seen the specialist, and if so, what came out of that meeting?
Yeah, I'm not sure of the answer to what came out of it. He saw them just this morning. So when we know a bit further, we'll let you know. But hopefully we can get Elliot back and playing as soon as we can.
What sort of specialist is he seeing?
Surgeon.
And just on Liam Ryan, there was a report out of Melbourne yesterday saying that he was open to moving clubs. Is that something that surprised you?
Look, I don't know the answer to that. I think if I'm an opposition club, Liam is a player that I'd like to try and get because he's an exceptional player. But I think if you look at the way Liam's playing this year and then look at the way he trained, he is heavily invested in our team. He's probably chasing harder than anyone on our team. Every week he's maxing out with his defensive efforts, which is what we ask of him, and we know the talent on the other side of the ball that he's got. So, yeah, he's incredibly invested.
Just back on Yo, so is there a chance he needs surgery?
I actually don't know the answer to it. So, again, we'll give you the information when we get it.
How has Elliot been mentally watching everything unfold? I'm sure he's supremely frustrated.
Reasonably competitive guy, Elliot, which I've come to learn this year. Look, he's frustrated. He's frustrated he can't help, and he just wants to help our team. That's the way he's wired. So he'll get himself back as soon as he can, and he's helping as much as he can in the capacity he's got at the moment.
Has he been doing anything leadership-wise?
Yeah, he does everything every day. He's a great leader for our footy club. Yeah.
Yeah, would you have special insights into Melbourne, do you think, given your background in that, and particularly Max Gawn and how to beat him?
Yeah. Know how to beat him's hard. He's an exceptional player, Max. But look, I've got a fairly intimate knowledge of how they play. To be fair, though, they've changed a lot how they play the last 2 weeks. Their style has changed quite a lot. So it's all well and good. But every AFL club, we pretty much know how every other team plays or what they're trying to do for the most part. It's just about being able to combat that and beat them the other way.
And Gawn what a challenge that is. I mean, you're racking your brains, losing sleep over that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'll look like Max if my hair keeps falling out, having to think about him. He's an incredible player. A lot of their game is built around Max. We know that, but our guys can't wait for the challenge as well. That's the best thing to do is play against the best players in the competition, and Max is certainly one of those.
We saw Zaya tear up Freo a couple of weeks ago. In terms of Hoffy, he seems like the perfect matchup forward in terms of when Pickett's forward in midfield as well. Is that what's running through your mind at the moment?
Look, we know how good a defender Hoffy is, for sure, but we're pretty keen to persevere with him through the midfield. We think he can become an A-grade midfielder. So I think he had one crack at it last week for the first week, and we'll be pretty keen to pursue that at the moment.
I know wins everything in football, but now when you look at the holistic side of this, do you break it down into smaller parts at the moment? How are you sort of seeing this?
Yeah, look, I think you're right. We want to win every game we play in, but we also need to chase some small gains. So there's some stuff we've gone after in the last few weeks, which we've made significant improvement on, which you guys, it's all out there to see. I'm sure the analysis you guys will do, you'll be able to notice the changes in our game the last few weeks. So we just need to keep encouraging that winning is the product, the outcome of what we're trying to do. So we'll keep sticking to the process, and we believe we're on the right path.
Tim's back in the team. We've seen Jack Viney do some run-with jobs. How do you support Tim given his face that a bit this season?
Yeah, well, he's almost faced it in every game that he's played. So, whether it's Tim or Harley, I expect Jack Viney will play on someone this week. He's done it the last 2 weeks, and it's helped his game, which is why they're doing it. So we'll make plans around that and support our guys and have some levers we can pull.
Harley had a really special game against Melbourne last year.
He did. I was on the other end of it, I know.
What did you notice in that game, and how hard was it as an opposition coach trying to stop?
Yeah, clearly Harley's one of the hardest players in the competition to stop when he's up and going like that. So I thought he brought the crowd to life that game. It was really significant, and I just want to shout out to our people that come to our game. The members of our footy club, they're turning up, which is quite amazing considering what we've been through the last couple of years. But if we can make the place as loud as it was last year, it gives our players a significant and boost. And I know on the opposition, it's really hard when the crowd's up and going. And we'll ensure our players try to give the crowd a boost early in the game as well. So it'll be great to get as many there as we can.
You didn't make a call to Sam Mitchell, did you, and clarify what he was doing and embarrass it?
No, I didn't. No, didn't talk to Mitch this week.